Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Ruch Report with the man himself, Brendan Ruch. How are you doing?
Doing well, Marvin. Thanks for having me back. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. And, it's interesting. We were talking before we started recording, and dude, it's going to be a roaster in central PA. I mean, it's that bummer, right? The trout and the smallies are in the shade and you're in the sun.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best time to be on the water. During a heat wave under low water conditions, things can get pretty tough. If I weren't going to be in Wisconsin, I would definitely be fishing the fringes, like early morning and the evening, for sure.
Yeah, and I guess if you're saying you've got low water, you've got all kinds of problems, right? Because the fish are going to know you're there because you're pushing a lot of water. Water's probably clear. Any tips for folks to kind of make those issues go away a little bit?
Yeah, I'd be very aware of what your fly line is doing on the surface, specifically during like picking up for your next cast. I see a lot of casts get picked up and put down in the same spot in the summertime, the low and clear, and it just doesn't make much sense. So you want to pick your cast up and then do a false cast or two to change your angle, and then just try to jump down 15, 20 feet if you're drifting in a boat. And if you're wade fishing, then you just want to strip in or let your fly swing out before you cast again.
Got it. And if the water's low, does that mean you can't listen to music on the boat?
You know, Marvin, if you can't listen to music on the boat, I don't want to be out there. So
fair enough. Well, we got a couple questions for you, right? We've got our not serious question from Instagram DH, and he wanted to get all of your tips on catching fall fish.
You know, I've never targeted them personally, but from a bycatch standpoint, there are some pretty predictable spots. You're going to be looking at like runs after a riffle with some structure, basically trout water in a warm water fishery. And Graham actually caught an 18-incher about a month ago. So I think he's just flexing right now. He caught a pretty good one.
Yeah. So do we have to tell everybody that was his fish that's been in the Instagram feed?
Yes. Yeah, that was his fall fish. And I wanted to show that off for him. He's a good guy, and it's good fall fish.
Yeah. Did you take it home and smoke it and eat it?
No, we just ate it on the boat. I always carry soy sauce and wasabi.
I really never thought about the sashimi. You know, down in the South, we just like grease and cornmeal, right?
Yeah, we try to spice things up a bit in central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, there you go. And then we got a question for you from John, and he wanted to get your thoughts on the tactics that you recommend for smallmouth when the water levels start to go up and the water gets a little bit of stain to it.
Yeah, so if we're talking fishing on the greener side of brown water, like not completely brown and with, tons of debris, that's basically going to be like the spring program. And if you're fishing maybe like really on the cusp of brown, but there isn't a ton of debris, like fishing flies that push a little bit more water. So something that has maybe a little bit of flexible resin on the head of a feather game changer, for instance, or like fishing a fly that has a rattle and something that is going to kind of like glow a little bit, throw a little bit of light. So that might be a time where I'm going to pick a flashier fly over some of the more subdued flies that I typically fish in green water.
Got it. And so would you still stay with like a light color fly, or do you like a darker fly for contrast in that situation?
Generally, if the water is dirty enough that I can't see the fly that I'm fishing anyway, I'll go like to like a black and olive or black chartreuse kind of configuration, or just straight black, because it really doesn't matter. But if you can get a couple feet of visibility, then I'm going to be starting off with like some sort of yellow orange variation, or pink chartreuse, maybe straight white. And then if that doesn't work, then black is always the second choice there.
There you go. And, folks, we love questions on the articulate fly. You can email them to us. You can DM us on social media. And a relatively new thing, if you go to our website, thearticulatefly.com, in the lower right-hand corner, on the podcast page, you can actually record your question. And if you record it, we may actually use it and read it live on the report. And, if we use your question, I will send you some articulate fly swag. And Brendan has pulled together some Ruch Report, or actually, I guess, Ruch fishing. You need to make some maybe some Ruch Report coffee mugs or something. But Ruch Report swag, some house fly swag, and some log jam swag, and that's going to be a pretty cool pack. So folks, send us your questions. And before I forget, too, guys, if you're a new listener and you like the podcast, in the podcatcher of your choice, please give us a like and give us a review. It really helps us out. And Brendan, before I let you go and watch, I think you were telling me you're going to go watch Joe Dirt tonight, which I highly approve of. You want to let folks know where they can find you so they can book you and fish with you?
Yeah, ruchangling@gmail.com, Ruch Angling on Facebook, and Brendan Ruch on Instagram.
Well, there you go. Well, listen, folks, as I always say, stay cool, but you still owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Brendan.
Take care.